name is Christine. I don't know about you, but I wake up feeling kind of stiff in the morning. And even if I don't have time to do a yoga practice first thing in the morning, I do find it can make me feel just a lot more easeful in my body if I do a few stretches. So that's what today's practice is all about, is just giving you a few guided stretches that you can do to kind of work out those kinks from a long night's sleep and just getting some of that stiffness out so that you can feel little more comfortable in your body as you then move into the rest of your day. And if you enjoy this and you would actually like to have a quick full body stretch yoga practice, you can check out that video also here on my YouTube channel. So, quick full body stretch, it's about a 30-minute yoga practice. This is going to be a little bit shorter and it's just some stretching to get the kinks out. All right, so I like to work from the top to the bottom. So let's start with the neck. Very first thing, you could be seated on the ground the way that I am, or you can be seated in a chair. There's really no right or wrong with this one. We're just trying to work our own kinks out. We're not working on anything too challenging. So if you're more comfortable seated in a chair, if you're even just sitting up in your bed, that's fine as well. So let's just start right here with the head. So we want to be sure that we're sitting upright in the spine, and we're just going to drop the head down. I like to kind of count a couple of breaths out just to be sure that I'm holding each stretch for about the same amount of time. So let's say we do 2 breaths right there, and we roll the head over to one side, ear to shoulder, hang there for 2 breaths. Chin back down to chest, and then continuing the roll all the way over to the other side, hanging out there, ear to shoulder, 2 breaths. Good, and we're going to roll back down to center and back over to the first side. And this time you can rock your head a bit side, like back and forth, until you find where in your neck, especially this morning, exactly what gets your attention the most. And then hang out there for 2 breaths. So very specifically where your neck needs a little love at the moment. And then back over to the second side, rolling over, rocking the head back and forth until you find that spot that feels just right for you on that side. 2 breaths. Good. Now you can continue just rolling your head from side to side. So chin along your chest, side to side. Or if it feels comfortable in your neck, and only if it feels comfortable in your neck, you can roll all the way up and back as well. All right, so for some of us, that's just going to feel like a bit of strain on the neck, on the back of the neck. So don't worry about that if it's not working for you. But if you're there, give it maybe 3 or 4 rolls and then change directions and do 3 or 4 rolls the other way. Otherwise, you're just sticking with those little half circles, rolling your chin back and forth along your chest. Good. Coming back to center, and do some shoulder rolls. All right, so shoulders up to the ears, roll them back, slide them down, forward, up, back, down. Do that a couple of times. And then the other way around. So you're rounding your shoulders forward, down, back, up, forward, down, back, up. Good. All right. And we'll come into some side stretches here. So let's just start with 3 breaths, taking the arms up overhead. So inhale and stretch up. Feel the sides of your body getting long. Exhale, hands down the center line. 2 more just like that. 1 more. Good. This time you'll bring your arms up and you'll just arch over to one side. So you can support yourself on the hand here if you're on the ground. If you're sitting in a chair, just bring your hand into your lap. Try not to collapse in the side that is compressing here, so you're not getting too crunchy over there. And you're just thinking about getting length into the upper arm as you reach out through the fingertips. Give it a good 2 or 3 breaths. And then inhale, both arms up. Exhale to the other side, same thing. Try not to compress in the shortened side. Get long in the long side. Give it a couple of good deep breaths. Use your inhale to come back up. And now we'll take a twist. All right, so I'll just guide you through the specific side this time. So let's do the left hand on the right knee. And then the right hand comes either to the floor behind you, or you can sort of hold the side of your chair here, just to give you a little bit of leverage to both encourage the spine to stay tall, and then you just kind of pull yourself around and even look far back behind you, and give yourself a couple of deep breaths right there. Inhale back up to center. Exhale the other way around. Keeping a focus on staying tall in the spine, looking back so that you're getting your twist from the base of your spine right up to the top of your spine, meaning the neck is a part of your spine. And then inhale back up. Hands to your heart. Good. From here, you can interlace your fingers behind your back. Now, if even getting your hands to clasp behind your back is a bit of a feat, know that you can use a strap or even just grab a towel and hold it there behind you so that you get your arms behind you, roll your shoulders back, and try to open up your chest a little bit. Just give your chest a little stretch. Keep the hands squeezing towards one another. If you're holding a strap, really grip it tightly so that there's energy in your hands to protect your wrists from this. Take a big breath into your heart and release. Good. You can shake that out a little bit. And so we're working down the body. We're going to get into our hips. If you're sitting cross-legged like me, we call this Sukhasana pose or easy pose or sweet pose. All it means is that you've got one ankle in front of the other. So we don't have to do any fancy work here, and you'll fold forward. Right? If you are sitting in a chair, you can attempt to cross an ankle over the knee and then see if you're going to fold forward there. You might just want to be trying to get your leg there and pushing your knee down. You're going to see what works for you. And there's no shame if your leg doesn't even get up onto your thigh. Just by having your knee out to the side and then pulling it in towards your shin might give you the external rotation that you need here. All right, and again, you give yourself a couple of deep breaths. Good. And then as you sit up, all you need to do now to get the other hip is to change the cross of your ankle. So get the opposite ankle in front of the other ankle, right? So just switch it up and then come forward if that's your game. Change the cross of your legs in your chair, wherever you're at today. And let's do about 3 or 4 breaths right there. And then sitting up from there. Good. We'll take the legs out in front, right? So I'm going to just sit sideways for a second here so you can see. We're going to hopefully not have our back rounding. If that's the case, do elevate your hips, right? So you can sit on a block, on a bolster, on a pillow, something just to get your hips up a little bit. And that's going to help you sit a little more forward on your sit bones and give you a bit more encouragement to fold forward. Flex your feet, pull your toes in towards your face, and you might just sit right there, staff pose. And if it happens to feel right, you can start to fold forward and just get a good stretch there for the back of your legs. 3 breaths right there. We're not holding anything too long today. Good. And then you can sit up and you can just lean back on your hands here and do some nice circles with the ankles. If you're like me, there's lots of popping and cracking going on right now, especially first thing in the morning. Change the direction of those circles. Good. Point and flex the feet a few times. Good. Same thing with your wrists now. Let's get some circles, fanning out the fingers. Other direction. Good. You can kind of flex and like flapping your hands a little bit, giving everything a little bit of a shake. All right, and we'll come to lie down on the back now. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Rock side to side. And just for one last little stretch here today, happy baby pose. So Here's a little modification for Happy Baby. We can all start here actually. So go ahead and just open your knees and rest your hands on your inner knees right there. And then you can just let those inner thighs start to open. You can even rock your knees up and down a bit as you get into the ball and socket joint there of your hip. And this is a great modification for Happy Baby if the full posture is just really crunchy and not comfortable, especially first thing in the morning, right? We're stiff, right? But if you do feel like you can go there, you would kick your feet up and your arms go to the inside of your knees and they go across the front of your shins to the outer feet. Right? So this would be a full Happy Baby pose. But to get there, some of us end up at this like thing going on with the neck where the chin is up and where the back of the head. If you can lengthen the back of your neck and get the back of your head back down, great. If that doesn't happen, then that means you're reaching too far up your leg. You can go down a little bit, hold your ankles, hold your shins, or maybe you've got to come back to this guy right here. Right? So just find what works for you, and then you can just play with it, rocking back and forth. Maybe you're kicking out a leg at a time, getting some last little stretches. And hopefully you're already feeling just a little bit more limber than you did when you first limped your way out of your bed this morning. At least that's what it feels like for me sometimes. I hope I'm not alone on that one. Ah, there we go. Squeeze the knees into the chest one more time. Give yourself a little roll up to sitting. And there you have it. Hopefully, just that little few minutes of stretching and moving the body can just give you a bit more ease in your body as you get on with your day, no matter what is coming. And if you happen to have time for a yoga practice, awesome. And if you don't, this'll do, right? This will keep us from feeling ancient, I hope. All right. Thank you so much for checking in with me today, for doing a few little stretches with me, and I will see you next time. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.